Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the 13th episode of Unlock Gamer Talks. And as you can notice already, of course, in case you follow us, there is a special guest instead of Uriel. So we actually canceled Uriel for this time. In the case this is the first time that you're following us, thank you for following us. This is a simple live that we do usually 45 minutes 1 hour in which we discuss about game from a design and developer point of view. I am Diego Cuti. I am a creative director and game designer by 16 years in the game industry. The most recent game for you might know me is A Quiet Place and Star Overdrive. And with me today we have Roberto Pavan, also known as Spike Shadowhunter.
Hello, everyone. I'm Roberto Van, or even Spike Shadowhunter. It depends on where you've met me before. I am the gameplay director for JAMA Games. I've recently released Enotria, the last song, but also very recently at Gamescom, we announced our newest title, the work in progress, that is La Divina Commedia. So, of course, I work full-time as a game designer, and in my spare time, I have my own channel project where I talk about games, usually hardcore games or hunting games, especially like Monster Hunter. And I'm a content creator there. I have a team of other content creators that work with me, and speedrunners and other hardcore player of action RPGs. So we have fun even there. So thanks, Diego, for having me this night.
Oh, thank you for being here, and thank you, Arius, for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. As always, for newcomers and oldcomers, this is a free chat. Feel free to write us, give us your opinion and feedback. And Roberto actually is super awesome. He doesn't like to talk how awesome is him. So I added his Linktree and La Divina Commedia trailer on the chat. So feel free to check it because Roberto, it's super amazing. It's an actual full-time streamer plus a gameplay director on two incredible projects done by Yama Games. So it's a really busy person. So actually, for giving us his time today and talking about Expedition 33 is really a privilege, because as you all know, we don't do millions of views here or anything like that. It's not the point for me. The point is discussing cool things with cool people. While actually he is a streamer and a YouTuber, so he actually has views. So giving us his time, it's precious. So I don't want to take it more than necessary. Please check his channels and check La Divina Commedia. And let me already share the screen about what we are going to talk today. And I tend to prefer this form. And so this is a video from MK Ice and Fire that is did, as you can read here, an Expedition 33 walkthrough and commentary, because today we want to discuss that Expedition 33, and specifically the incredible and Roberto in private, and it was like, it's such an interesting discussion that we should discuss it face to face. And I want to start. Then, of course, I will give Roberto the possibility to do it because, of course, it's super important. And what I want to discuss is, for me, Expedition 33, it's a masterpiece. I want to stay with that. So, of course, I'm biased because I believe it's a masterpiece. So, I will not tell super bad things on something that I believe in a masterpiece. But even if I exclude, and I think the people that follows me know that I tend to be honest with my opinions and as least biased as possible. The introduction, the starting of Expedition 33 is a standard. It's really a new standard. It's something that you can't go back. Sometime in the industry happens something, and when that happens, you can't go back. So before going in some of these elements, what do you think, Robert?
Yeah, actually, I'm biased as well. Incredibly biased. So I too think that there is like a before and after Expedition 33. The narrative overall is amazing. It is filled with plot twist and all this kind of stuff. And especially the very beginning of the game is so powerful that I think players get hooked from the very beginning in a way that really we haven't seen that before in probably any other game, at least like on that scale, right? Because even like players like that we can really define like casual, that don't really play a lot of games, they still go to that Expedition 33, and this was amazing. Like this is not, it's no easy feat for the industry overall. So yeah, I'm super biased. I'm so happy that we can talk about it, because I think that this kind of topic deserves to be spoken. Also because now every other game that have like some sort of narrative, uh, and of course the narrative is kind of central or is important in the story, will be compared to Expedition 33.
Yeah, I agree. And hi, Aluber. Thank you for giving us your time. As always, feel free to write your opinions, feedback, question, whatever. You know, there is no wrong comment here. Everything is worth it. And that's what I want to start. I want to start from literally, I'm going to put us in one moment in the small mode. So at 39 seconds from the start of the game, I already believe there is something that is incredible from a narrative point of view. And why do I believe that? Well, let's start with, well, other than the visuals, of course, you know, there is a beautiful composition in the imagery, but that's not the point. The point is, this is the Arc de Triomphe. So anyone with a bit of knowledge will recognize that this is something that connects to Paris. But of course, it's broken. But even if you don't know that, there's already an incredibly interesting hook, which is the 34. Now, even if you don't know the story of Expedition 33, it's already weird why there is a giant number 34 in the distance. This is already an interesting hook. Also, there is other people watching us. Thank you for giving us your time. And also, feel free to write. And Arius is saying, I think we forgot like Expedition, for example, Xenogears of Vagrant Story. The big thing about Expedition is remember when games are like that. Well, I fully agree. Don't take me wrong. Expedition 33 is an homage to old style games. And I love Xenogears, Vagrant Story, Xenoblade. But the narrative, the introduction of the narrative, for me, it's on absolutely an incredible other level. I fully agree. The game is to Final Fantasy and to, in general, old styles RPG is a love letter. It's really a group of people that love that games, and I wanted to make a super cool game about that. I at least that's how I see it. Then I will ask what Roberto thinks. But the introduction is on a completely different level from my point of view, especially from JRPG, which is very interesting because, of course, you know, the most famous, the one that you itself cited, Arius, are JRPG. So, Rob, what do you think about what Arius was saying?
Yeah,
I'll leave you the comment on. So.
I think 100% the same. Like, this is definitely something that takes inspiration from other games. Of course, is an homage, but I also think that it is the narrative that is the main hook. Like we are only talking about like the first frames of the beginning of the game, right? And you don't even know the gameplay. Like if you go full blind on Expedition 33, you don't know how it will play out, right? And you already are asking so many questions like in a couple of frames. This gives you how powerful this game really is. So in a certain, like from a certain point of view, like does it really matter like the gameplay after all? Of course the answer is yes.
Yes, of course.
It'll be a lot. But when we talk about like initial hook and like capturing player interest, it is instantaneous from the very beginning of the game. Like you don't even know how much it is like, for example, a Final Fantasy at that point. Like you just reopen the game, right?
Exactly. Especially from Final Fantasy. Now I will continue. And I will put this going up, you know, you're starting as the hero of the village and then you become the savior of the world, and in a typical JRPG ways you become killer of gods. In Expedition 33, and you will notice that you start already with the goal. The goal is the 34. Even this image, again, look how he moves from the flowers to, of course, Gustav, the main character, arguably. Of course, there are going to be some spoilers, sorry guys, but we're discussing the story. And again, the 34 here, very visible, very big. The character is clearly looking at the 34. It's there. So once again, the game is reinforcing that thing, whatever it is. Now the music is very beautiful, but once again, let's not focus on this element. And as always, for people that are watching us, please, thank you for giving us your time, and please share your feedbacks, your comments, like Arius. We are here to discuss together, talk. So again, same image. The main character is throwing rocks to this 34, whatever it means. Now, of course, if you follow the game, you know what it means already. If you didn't, why is falling rocks? Why there is this obsession with this number?
If you're gonna give someone flowers, you should probably do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower?
And here is already incredible. And I will stop and then I give it, like, once again, I will tell the spoiler. Second character, Mael, arguably the second main character of the game, or the real main character of the game, depends how you want to see it. And what Mael says, if you give flowers, you should give them before they wither and die. Which, of course, it seems a very things connected to flowers, because flowers wither, flowers die. Usually flowers die very quickly. What does Gustav say? Well, the flowers are Sophie. Why is talking about a person? Okay, why is talking about the fact that someone has to die? Like, in any normal conversation, you would already assume that she was talking about the flowers. Instead, Gustav react, and also Luca react. In this world, people die constantly, but his react is almost a joking one. You know, oh, who? The flowers or Sophie? It's so interesting already as a concept, the fact that is creating this question, the character live in this world. Oh no, we're gonna spoil, sorry. Sorry, Diner. Because I mean, we're not gonna spoil the entire game. We're gonna spoil like the first hour of the game, though. So you need to be careful about that in case. But thank you. And I haven't played Expedition 33, but the setting in this initial cutscene reminds me a lot of the garden, which you will find in Paris. And it's in French element, which I didn't really notice in the other. Exactly. That's another concept. Of course, this game is set in Lumiere, which is clearly inspired by Paris. It doesn't have the Eiffel Tower. But as you say, it's kind of like interesting French element, you know? It's like not fully Paris, and this is already picking up. You see how many questions.
Yep. And these are literally the first two lines of dialogue, right?
Oh, thank you. Yes, these are already
Of
the
the-
first two lines of dialogue.
Literally the first two.
The first two lines of dialogue already put it so many questions. Why they are discussing death of people?
Or Sophie.
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve.
She's joking too again. Ooh, dark. So approve.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Now she gets sad. Okay, because of course Sophie will die. So joke, then sad, because actually it's going to happen. So you shouldn't joke about deaf people. Well, soon to be died people.
The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you...
Now I'll say this and then leave it to Roberto. Another incredible line. If you could hit the paintress, who is the paintress? Well, by association, probably something connected to the number. And she say with the other arm. Why does he have a kind of like weird metallic, maybe robotic, maybe magical arm. Let's go, Rob.
Yeah, so here, of course, like when you know the lore of the game, and then you go back, you also understand how genius. Then, of course, some of these parts definitely are. And again, like the ups and downs. So even like they are introducing like the main target, possibly, or even the festival, the expedition. There are so many words in these like first few lines of dialogue, like keeping up with the giving the player more and more question, like what is the expedition, why only 5 tables, why a festival have so few people.
Exactly.
Like there are so many questions that they are building up a lot, like all at once. Like they in this scenario they are like assuming the player knows in some sense, right? So yeah, we are talking about something that happens all the time, that also is extremely powerful because they want to like kind of immerse the player in the world, and by the way they talk, we are assuming as players that okay, this is something that okay, we have no idea what is going on. This is definitely something weird from the very beginning till now, and is something that people somehow are used to in this world, and it is also is very powerful. And we just talked about death, so they are very used to death. So many questions, even like building up at once immediately, very powerful. Like these also are very human in that sense, like they are only talking about topics that are of course very powerful from a human level. That is also like there is no fantasy right here. We are literally talking about death in that sense.
Yes. And before commenting something that Rob said, it's super important. Arius said about this thing, I played the game in French and it's perfect, so related to the modern game. Oh, I'm so envious of you. This is something that actually, Arius, it's super correct. This game, it's very, very connected to French culture. It's done by a French team that is proud of being French, in the same way that an Italian team is doing La Divina Commedia. What we said at the start, that both me and Rob is working, but of course Rob, it's full time on it. And playing the game in French and knowing French makes you understand way more. But it's the same for everything. Like if you read La Divina Commedia in English, you can still understand it, but it's not the same in Italian. Same if you read Dostoevsky in Italian or in English, it's not the same. And most of the music is in French voluntarily, is not being translated in English. And it's, of course, very important music, let's say. It's very clear that if you understand what the music says is important. And Roberto was saying something very important, which is the characters are treating the elements that we don't understand as a normality. This is a narrative techniques, which is called mise en scène, which is also connected to a theatrical technique, and is the one they use in Harry Potter. Harry Potter is based on that, especially the first few books are Harry Potter, which is not a mage, that enters into the mage world, wizard world, and is surprised by everything that for the other mage people it's normal, for the other wizards are normal things because they lived into this wizard world. Here is the same. Like for them, the way they talk about this element is normal, but from our point of view, which is the user, it's unique, it's strange, it's intriguing.
Could hit the paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today.
Once again, beautiful scene. The 34 is in the middle.
My usefulness for tomorrow. And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
Other beautiful element, of course, the art also is very important. You know, the Gustav is giving so much determination, but also the writing again. And soon we will do more than throw rocks. There is, you understand, there is something important here. Okay, yes, this is joking, and look how beautiful. There is this constant flip flop between serious and joke. Oh, someone is dying. Ha ha ha. Oh, we shouldn't joke about death. Oh, you know, people love the expedition, but only 5 tables. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you know, you shouldn't be useless. You should be useful. Oh, no, I want to be useless, but tomorrow I will be useful. Constant up and down, up and down. This constant switch between emotion is incredible. It's keep you on your tip.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey,
Sadness.
you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
The other expedition laid the path for us. So they died. And of course, it's clearly indicating the 34. So once again, someone died to clear the path to indicate that. What's going on here? Exactly what Rob was saying, like so many questions and so little answer.
Sir,
Yeah.
you still got a flower to give.
Again, funny now. See, he was serious.
Yes.
I'll go back.
Just... I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her gamage?
You're asking me.
Another beautiful element, and this is once again is connected to what Arius was saying, gommage. And I will leave Rob here, which I only say it's a French word.
Yes.
That even in the English version, it's not translated. It's still kept as gommage.
Yeah, some of the terminology, I think that they wanted to keep it in French also because, cultural power, and maybe they wanted them to be closer to the French culture that they are so proud of. They are introducing again, they brought back the attention to the flower again, and they introduced the concept of death again. We know that somehow they will need to do something that it was attempted many times before and likely failed, because otherwise they would not be there. This was already introduced, but regardless, like there is this pain of something that is probably above them all, right? Even gommage, like what they literally mean, like it seems so huge as an event, but as the point of the game we are now, we don't really know what it is. Regardless, they have to act, and there is no way around it. It seems, right? Because it's going to happen anyway.
Exactly.
And so even like in this little scene, after all the up and down, it's clear that okay, it is time to go now. Like the time of joking is over. We have to act. Even like in this like small step of like bringing the flower, right? It is the moment, and it also like really powerful. If you think about it, like maybe a minute or so has passed from the beginning of the game.
I'll tell you. Let's see. A second.
It's like
3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. Like so many things. It literally is 3 minutes of cutscene, like we mostly done with dialogues and like camera plays, because that's literally that. And it's really like you as players say, okay, what is going on here?
Exactly. And the sadness. And like Roberto said something so powerful, which is there is already a sense of urgency. Okay, one of typical things. For example, I'm a huge fan of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I played the first, I'm playing the second. Kingdom Come Deliverance start in a classical Western RPG way, which is things are right at the start, then there is the initial accident, and things are going bad, basically, and then, like, the actual story starts. But even if here there is an initial accident, what is going to happen within the first hour of the game, already there is this sense of urgency. There is already something bad that is happening. There is no happy moment at the start. Even later, and I will show you, of course, when you explore the city and there is this Gommage festival, of course, it's not festival. It's sad. It's incredibly filled with sadness. So they take this idea, this concept of it start good, then initial accident, and they say, let's keep the initial accident. Let's add another initial accident and make everything already super sad and super clear from the beginning. That is incredible. It's simple said in this way. It's very simple, Analyzing things, of course, is easier than inventing them. It's simple said in this way, but when you have to doing it for the first time, lay the path, it's way harder.
I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
Once again, Sophie, who is Sophie? Why is so sad about Sophie? Now actually the game starts. So this is even before the prologue, it's kind of like, okay. Interesting. Now, of course, this part I will cut it a bit. Now, notice another thing. Do you notice how small is the 34 now? Now the 34 is very small compared to the image before. Why? Well, because that is licenza poetica, they say in Italy. They made it bigger because it was relevant for the scene to be clear as the objective of the player. And here instead they wanted to give you a realistic distance compared to Lumiere. But it's okay. It's okay. This is a typical manipulation in game design, and it's perfectly okay to do that. I need you to understand that, so I will make it gigantic and then I will make it smaller. It's okay. It doesn't have to be realistic. So you can take it, don't take it. You don't even understand why.
All right, let's go. I'll accompany you there.
Okay, now there's the tutorial. You will learn
The basics.
Don't tell your sister.
the basic,
I
exactly.
sort of borrowed the hooks from the Expedition Academy. Wish I had them when I was working as a cook.
And here you notice what
Come on, Gustav,
he was saying
speed up
before.
a bit.
How
Sophie will have already
it's
been
very
lost by the time
French.
you've
It's
arrived.
very Paris, but it's not Paris. You also notice this expedition
Can't believe
banners.
Sophie already turned 33.
Everywhere.
And here, look how genius is this element. I was exactly looking for this. Also, let me check. No, you are in HD. I can't believe Sophie already turned 33. Now, this part has been said in a random dialogue that happens while you are learning to walk and run. And yet, it's incredibly interesting because, remember, 33rd. And she say, I can't believe she already turned 33. Which is a fine sentence that you could say in the real world. Oh, I can't believe my brother is, 42. Come passa il tempo in Italian. Oh, time flies so fast.
Yeah.
Of course, he uses a completely different meaning.
Yeah,
Completely.
regularly should be like irrelevant or so.
She looks
Exactly.
so much younger than you.
Thanks.
She looks younger
She's
than you,
popular.
and other typical things
I'm
that
sure
you
she
could
already
say.
has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine. What?
You look tense.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what you need.
Okay, here you will learn the mechanic. Now, I'll pass this, not because it's not important, but for the narrative, we are focusing on other elements.
Now, don't you feel better? I see your smile. All right, now. It's still a mystery to me, but oh well. The red and white.
Why
tree.
people celebrate Gommage once
Always found
again?
it beautiful.
What is Gommage?
I don't really understand. You and Sophie broke up so long ago.
It's also pretty clear from
Clearly,
this
you
exploration
never
that
got
the
over
place
her.
is not really
Why'd you
like in
wait
the best
until
of
today to
states.
see her?
Absolutely, yes. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
It's a bit
Absolutely.
late, isn't it? Sophie's down there.
Yeah.
This is environmental storytelling. Exactly
luck.
what Rob was saying.
I'll be here for you if things don't.
You go down, and second moment of very important element.
The last few days meant everything.
Can we talk?
Gustav. I love you all.
That's for your, if there's room.
And now here we see, of course, something already incredibly interesting, which is Sophie. We finally meet this Sophie. And of course, the music is very romantic. The language used by Gustav, it's clearly he is changing from this kind of like, confident guy into this a bit more, I don't know what to say, a bit shy. And we know they've been together, so there was kind of like, okay, so maybe he's still in love. Also, wait a second. Sorry, I'll let you comment. What you said that Mihail is Shadhart. Yes, Mihail is Shadhart. There is a lot of memes about that you can find online in which like the expedition won because of Shadhart. So absolutely, there is a lot of comments from this point of view. So yes, actually, she's very good. She's very, very good. Also, I'm masking her voice. In case for people who don't know, Shadowheart is a character from Baldur's Gate 3, which is another incredible masterpiece. Completely different from this one, of course. Completely different.
Very popular character, I'd say.
Oh yes, yes. By the way, we don't know what does it mean already at 33. Exactly. Is exactly that the thing. And that's why it's such a genius thing, because when you listen to that, you think in the human way, human in sense of human not living in this world, which is okay. She's 33. It's an age. Everyone gets older. Of course, in this game, it's a completely different things, and that sentence change entirely. And then when we understand exactly, and then it's pam, a very punching face, and that is the genius of the writing, the genius of this first hour of gameplay. It's how well it's written. Cheeky writer, Gustav Falter saying, "Oh, that's for you if there is room." Exactly, absolutely. And this part I will leave it Rob. So Rob, tell me when to stop because you want to discuss it.
Of course.
There's always room.
You know,
I
I'm
missed you.
sorry that I
You
miss
don't need to. Okay,
You go.
you.
You know how I feel. I wish things had been. I often think.
Yeah, we
Another
can stop
path.
even there. I think this scene is kind of important, right, for the morale of the game overall. Like, you see that, of course, probably these guys didn't get along as well, or something happened in the past, and now we explore another emotion to our list. We add the regret. So another thing that is also very human. Like, it is clear that now it's too late for something, but she clearly is accepting Gustav again for some reason that we don't know about their background. Who know what happened, and so they are talking with each other again. And regardless of what Mael said before, she, like I say, Sophie said, like, there is always space, right? So there is this acceptance. However, in the dialogue, they are sad. Why they are sad? Like, if they are some way accepting each other again, they are coming closer to each other again, they are clearly liking each other again, why they are sad, right? I think this is also something that it is important for the lore narrative of Expedition 33, even from the very first hours. It's like when we discussed the topic of death before, like they are bringing up and making like all this very human emotion explode that anyone can understand.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely. And yes, Arius, you're right. Please continue. I'll just say that yes, because Arius knows what is going to happen, as me and Roberto.
Yeah.
Want me to continue?
Yes. I think.
Another future.
Still can't finish your sentences, can you?
Yep, that hasn't changed.
I missed that. I never faulted you for wanting to believe. You're fighting to change things.
Yeah.
I
So
understand.
I think this needs to be talked about, right?
Yes.
So of course, like on one way, like this is confirming that there is a fight going on. Like she explicitly said that, and Gustav is part of this, like sort of, like of course I like after knowing the story, we know the full thing, but he is definitely involved in this fighting, right? So he is attempting to do anything. But the most important thing here is that kid. So it's clearly a very young person that when he sees Sophie, he kneels down, like he bows. And from, of course, a player that maybe don't know much about lore, like at that point, you still don't understand like 90% of the things that they are introducing because you don't know. So why it is so unusual, right? Why a kid should bow to like a young lady. Like it's definitely not an act of respect. It's very unusual, right?
Yes, also the face, because it's not a bow of respect.
It's like yeah, they it's kind of not scared, but you know
Yeah, continue. I'll try to find the right
the
moment.
the right frame. Yeah,
See,
yeah. It's sad, right?
it's sad.
It's like he's looking at. They know that they are going to that something bad is going to happen, right? And something bad is going to happen to her. That is also can be connected to the discussion that happened like on the roof with Mael,
Mhm.
between Mael and Gustav. And also on top of that, it is a kid that does that. So this is very powerful on its own. And again, it's something that they are used to because this is something they are teaching. Because of course, kids do not born like with this kind of act
No,
imprinted
absolutely.
in their mind, right?
And you see, what Rob's saying, I think is super interesting, because there is this element in which you connected this dot, but you are not fully sure because you didn't know. So why is he bowing? You're thinking maybe something bad has happened. The way they are sad, maybe something bad is going to happen, but you don't know because, of course, you don't know. You didn't play the game. So there is this emotion of wanting to know what is going to happen. What is going to happen here? What is going to happen here? Why there is this constant emotion change, emotion charge?
I understand. Just. In a different world,
A different world.
right?
Yeah.
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
It's again another interesting thing. We break the cycle. She can't steal someone else's future. Who's she talking to? What kind of cycle? What's going on? And once again, a bit of joke. Why is a bit of joke? You will discover later why is a bit of joke. Why saying breaking the cycle, it's funny and sad at the same time. And that's such an interesting emotion, something that it's both funny and sad at the same time. It's very unique.
Yeah. Also want to add that from these scenes, like up until now, like you still have no idea what is going on. Also, Sophia it seems like a very healthy female.
Yeah.
So right, it seems everything is fine. So for as of now, like they are set for no apparent reason at all.
No, actually, it should be the opposite. As Roberto said at the start, it should be like the start of a reconciliation between these lover, And I would say, like Illidan said years ago, we are not prepared for the next events. Exactly. Yes, we are not. I'm not joking. Okay, I'm not joking. I will never, feel ashamed that I cried like a baby at the end of Final Fantasy X. And there are certain games that make me cry. The emotional intense that I had at the end of these events that Arius said, which happened with 1 hour of gameplay, made me put my controller down and had to say, wait a second, I need to kind of emotionally understand what's going on because I wasn't ready. And that's the power of gaming for me. That's already the reason why it's a masterpiece. If you give me such an emotional charge within 1 hour, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's 1 hour. Like of course you're hooked. This is what I was saying. Like regardless of the gameplay, that of course it is well structured overall.
Absolutely.
You are already incredibly hooked because after you have experienced this, and then of course we are going to see more in a bit. Like how can you not go
you have a heart?
Like of course it's like watching a movie right now and stopping it before the cliffhanger, and you say no, you can't, right? You need to know more at that point.
And as I say, while for example the emotional charge of the end of Final Fantasy X was stronger, it took hundreds of hours to reach that climax, not a single hour. That's why it's incredible for me.
Stubborn people change the world. And you are the most
Here you have a bit of
stubborn
hopeness
person
here,
I know.
Hey, stubborn people change the world, and you are super stubborn, so maybe you can do it. He's laughing.
Thank you.
But once again, there's this sadness, constant sadness, He wants to say things, he doesn't say them.
Walk me to the harbor?
Yes.
So, of course, the music is super important, and we are not covering. But once again, if we also have to talk about the music, bam, and this is pure genius. Now we are Sophie. Okay. Now, of course, you can change between the characters. The game will tell you how to do that, but it's not a random decision that you start as Sophie, because you want to immerse the player into Sophie. So you start as Sophie, which is okay. Why am I Sophie? I'm going fast.
Oh, hi, Sophie.
And you see, the game expects you to be Sophie. That's why when you're talking with people, you're changing back into Sophie, even if he was back on Gustav.
So Gustav really did come, huh?
Yeah, he did.
I knew he would.
Shh. He might hear us.
You're a lucky one, you know?
I know that.
But he is too.
Looks like you still have a lot of flowers left.
Well, there are less and less people to buy them.
Here, like another incredible sentence hidden in a normal dialogue. Like this is the typical dialogue that you find in a JRPG, in which the flower lady tells you, "Oh, you know, I heard there's going to be an eclipse, and monster came out of the eclipse." Sure, okay. Or I love living in this city. And it started in the exact same way. Oh, you know, you have Gustav. Oh, yeah, Gustav. Oh, you know, Gustav is a very nice guy and he's lucky. You are very lucky too. And then, oh, you have a lot of flowers, which is, you know, once again, a sentence that you could say in a positive way to a flower shop. And the answer is, well, there are less and less people to buy them. Wait, what? Why there are less and less people to buy them? What's going on? Why she is so normal in saying something like that?
Yeah.
I just wish you didn't have to wear one.
Tiffany,
I should finish cleaning up here and join everyone at the heart bar. See you.
Sadness again regarding Sophie. Oh, I wish you didn't wear one.
Also, here we are associating flowers to something that is going to be bad,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. And as you can see, there is a lot of flower, and of course, our current main character has flowers. Let's go
Imagine
fast.
I'm fine.
Hmm.
I'm fine. I've lived 33 good years. Look around. We've had our whole lives to prepare.
And here, the game, it started to giving a bit more, say, clear hints. You know, I'm fine. I lived 33 good years. Okay, that's a sentence that even in the real world, someone will say if they are not going to end well. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like a cancer patient might say that. You know, oh, I had a good life. Okay. But of course, she didn't say I had a good life. She said I lived 33 good years. Once again, the number, the way that she say things, it's very interesting. She didn't say I had a good life. I lived 33 good years, which is a very strange way to say, you know, I had a good life.
We're all fine.
I'm not fine. Will be. Of course, she accepted. Gustav didn't.
Oh, Sophie,
Marie,
your flowers. I didn't know about. I thought you were younger.
Fantastic. Another, like, I don't think we have time to reach the end really, because like there's so much to discuss in every dialogue. It's such that's why it's a masterpiece. You know, when there's this level of detail, it's a masterpiece. You met this Marie person that you never saw before, you will never see before, and she say hi, and then she's sad because she see you wearing this thing, and she say, "Oh, I thought you were younger." But also she's wearing them. So whatever is the bad thing is going to happen to her too, because she's wearing that tag. So, oh, what's going on? So it's not only Sophie.
And yet you didn't have children.
I'm not having this conversation with you again. Not today.
Do you care so little about the future of Lumiere? How can you be so selfish?
I'm not selfish enough to bring others into our doomed world. I know
Doomed
we're
world?
not many to think like this now. And it destroyed my relationship with the person I loved the most. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Now there are so many elements. Doomed world. He destroyed the relationship with the person I loved more, which I can guess is Gustav at that
Gustav, yeah.
point, which is us. You have to remember that the player, it's both character at the moment. Okay, so he's leaving both sides.
I'd like to spend this moment with him, and you should cherish this moment with your daughter.
Sorry. See you at the harbour.
Good luck, Mary.
There's almost crying in this scene.
Cyril, you flatterer. Need some help with your writing again?
Beautiful and perceptive, per usual.
Of course, he doesn't have that
Yeah.
flower thing.
See, I'm preparing the headline for tomorrow, and who could write it better than someone who celebrates her special day today?
True. So, what will the article be about?
Actually,
You don't know.
oh, well,
You really are lazy.
help me again, Sophie, please. The boss will kill me.
Sure. Let me think of a headline. Expedition 33 shall be the destined journey.
A headline about the expedition. That's bold.
Well, here we saw only one. Once again, what is the expedition? Why it's bold? Why is the destined journey? Journey to what? To whom? The game creates connection between us, Sophie, and Gustav in only 1 hour. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking. And that's why I was saying it's so important that in this phase we are playing as Sophie. It would have been easy to play as Gustav, bringing Sophie around, but you're playing as Sophie. And you know, from a and I'll talk at this in go 1 second, and I'll give to Rob. Go into a development mode. It's take time, you know, just to do their unique walking animation of Sophie, hair skirt flowing around. It would have been cheaper and easier to just have Gustav continue to be Gustav and Sophie teleport or moving, or in any case, don't be directly controlled by the player. It would have been easier and cheaper.
Yeah, also having to handcraft all this dialogue that are voice acted, of course, with person and NPCs that don't really matter overall, and of course, but they still did it, like, because they wanted you to immerse in this, and this is extremely important for the game.
Exactly. This is the difference between a masterpiece. They could have done it cheaply and easier for themselves, but they did it in the right way because they wanted to make a great game. Now, it's not always possible. Sometimes people want to make a great game and it's not always doable because many reasons. Time, money, possibility, mistakes. But the fact that they did that, it's a decision, a proper decision based on we want to make a masterpiece.
Nobody really cares about them anymore after their constant failures. But that would make a wonderful underdog story. Okay, now I'm inspired. You really are a divine
Once again,
being,
another very
Sophie.
interesting point. They
Don't
always
forget to
fail.
credit me.
I would never. Thank you for all these times.
It's always been a pleasure, my friend.
Once again, all these
Take care of
sentences, they
yourself.
always end in this. You're giving someone, you know, her last journey, her last talk.
It taste. I just finished my sculpture of the legendary Eskia.
Well, this is a bit of
This may
foreshadowing.
be.
It's
How could I
less.
make really?
Not because, no, but
Thank
I
you.
mean,
I
it's still
will.
very nice, but we are focusing on one element. Still, that is a very nice foreshadowing.
Sophie, what a lovely smell.
He has the crown.
Thank you, Richard.
I could recognize it from miles away. It's good you're here, Sophie. I have a favor to ask of you.
Anything for my beloved sewing teacher?
We are of the same cohort. Today is my Gommage, and my son and I had a fight last night. He said he wants to join the expedition. He wants to waste the last year of his life. I didn't.
Here another incredible element is the day of my Gommage. So Gommage once again appears. What is Gommage? His son wants to waste. He didn't say, you know, he wants to join the expedition. He wants to waste. It's a very strong word saying waste. His last year. So Wait, what? Antics again. Last year, what's going on with the expedition?
They know in advance when something is going to end.
Exactly.
Also, this connects to the failure that discussed like the writer before, right? The
Exactly.
journalist.
The expedition are a constant failure.
I didn't want that for him. I used to think it was a bad choice. Today, I no longer do. I know I made a mistake. I tried to impose my views on him when he is much braver than I will ever be. So I sewed a special uniform for him. Could you bring it to him?
Of course. I'll bring it to Jules.
He won't join the Gamage ceremony, but he will be at the Expedition Festival tonight for sure. Oh, but you...
Don't worry.
This it's he give it to her, but you literally, but you. What does it mean, but you? And she will say, "Oh, don't worry, I'll ask Gustav." So he asks a favor to her, but her needs to ask a favor to Gustav. Interesting. So now, okay, I will
Gustav, are you back together?
want to continue,
this
but I
moment.
really want to
Maybe.
I'm
reach
glad. He's a good person.
Yes,
the,
he is.
Thanks to both of you.
say the last moments, because otherwise we don't have time to discuss them.
If, like this would be like a 10 hours live.
Really, to be honest, if you want, guys, and if you like it, let us know in the comments, and we will continue maybe the minutes that we miss it for the futures. But we are already close to 1 hour, which is usually the limit. I mean, I don't want, as I say, I don't want to take more of Roberto time unless he's so gentle to give it to us. But we already will probably have 15 minutes just to discuss the last scenes. Because
That's true.
just to give it to the people that didn't play it, basically you go around, you continue to talk, and you continue to have this general sense of two main emotions: sadness and acceptance, mostly, but not a good acceptance, a sad acceptance. Like, I would love to fix things, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Please, don't forget me.
I miss you still.
Once again, beautiful scenery, very good use of level design. Rectangle, semicircle, and the 34.
Always loved the harbor.
The Paintress will awaken soon. Who is the Paintress? I have no idea. But they said this word before at the start. So this happened in 31 minutes. Okay, so in 31 minutes.
It's like not even an hour. Like
Not even an hour. This has been pretty interesting. I would probably have skipped some of the dialogue in a normal setting. Exactly. Yeah. Don't take me wrong. I would have done too. Most of the time, the first dialogue in JRPG and Western RPG are just like, who cares?
Whatever. Like you want to go forward with the story.
Exactly. You want the adventure. Here, there is so much to understand, so much what's going on. And the Gommage will start. Very interesting here too, of course. When the Paintress awaken, the Gommage will start, which of course, action consequence. Very clearly. Last question for the end of this slide. Expedition will change in some way the industry. It's already changing it. I can tell you from my little, but as you guys know or might don't know, I work with many clients in the industry. I work with software house like Yama Games, but I also work with publishers like Focus Home or Goblins Publishing or Raw Fury. They're all my clients. And anytime now I see a narrative-driven game, of course, if it's not a narrative-driven game, it's another thing. But anytime I see a narrative-driven game, now the staff needs to reach a level similar to this. Otherwise, it's not comparable. It's a word post. For me, this is the equivalent in a narrative way on when they started to insert RPG element into melee fighting and into shooting. And the action RPG was born. and there is no world be after that. Now, does it mean that every single game will have such a great start? No, certainly not. But now, developer has a reference, and the good developer, because that's always the thing, good developer will make bad narrative game just thanks to that. That's how I see it. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, no, I think for 100% the same. 100%, because people will compare. Also, they will know for sure, even if you just want to look at data, right? You want to be super be detached from player. You just look at the data. You know that these hooked millions of people, millions, and these, of course, and also with an extremely high then review right after, etc. So even if you want to just look at data, this brings money, right? If done correctly, this can hook player, and of course we can also analyze like the way they did it. Like 90% of this stuff is done by dialogues, music, and the same setting in different scenes and angles. Like you need to, of course, and crafting and being able to do that is definitely something that needs to be studied and executed. However, we are not talking about like something that is theoretically unreachable, right?
Exactly.
So I think that as you said, probably developers that want to go in a narrative direction for the game, or have a game that are narrative driven, may attempt something like that, or at least they need to study the way this is built, because this is the most powerful narrative start that we had probably ever. And so, of course, again, not everyone will be Expedition 33 1-to-1. Doesn't need to be. However, having this as a reference should be the golden standard. And anybody that will not follow that will not reach that result.
Exactly. And once again, doesn't mean that it has to be exactly as Rob said, 1-to-1. You can reference. I did that with the start of Star Overdrive. The start of Star Overdrive is heavily inspired by the start of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But of course, it's different because the setting is different, the game is different. But still, a lot of narrative beats and emotional beats in Zelda Breath of the Wild are present at the start of Zelda Breath of the Wild, are present at the start of Star Overdrive. And this is the same. While, yes, it's dialogues, you can study how many times do I see the paintress? How many times do I see the 34? How many times do we implicitly say something instead of saying explicitly? These are narrative techniques that can be studied and reproduced. So let's end. Sophia and Gustav move towards down. Now, of course, this goes into cinematic for absolutely correct reasons.
I see you're apprentices.
Oh.
Gustav!
What?
Here, Sophie asked us to bring you your coat.
We sewed up the sleeves so you don't have to keep rolling it up.
You guys know how to sew?
Sophie helped us. Turns out it's not that hard. You really should have done this ages ago.
You did this?
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah? I wanted to do something.
Of course, very beautiful, this last gesture for each other, the flowers.
Thanks, guys. This is great. Thank you.
See you at the festival?
Don't leave without saying goodbye.
Yeah, of course not.
Introduction, don't leave without saying goodbye.
So he's going to leave for something.
Exactly.
What? I know that face.
You mean a lot to them. I can tell.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me too. Legacy can take many forms, right?
Yeah.
You told me that.
Right.
Why?
I wanted to see you wearing it.
Oh, you like uniforms now?
Music.
Even moving to first person.
Yes, and okay, it's so simple, so well done. 33. Okay, so Expedition 33. Okay, so now it's clear that it's probably part of Expedition 33. There is literally a 33 on his hand, but we still don't know what is Expedition 33. He's part of it, but what is Expedition 33? But we not have to stand about System 2 because Expedition was not only being absolutely no, that's what I say. I'm not. That's what we said, me and Rob, at the start. The game, it's a masterpiece because every part of it is great. I think it's a new standard in the narrative. In the combat, it's a great game. Absolutely. Still love it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a new standard in the combat. It's a very good game in the combat. But we could talk about the combat too, because there are still some innovation in that part.
This too is your legacy.
In a way, it's yours too.
In the middle. Once again, it's bigger. It's not as big in the other image. It doesn't matter. It's for dramatic purposes. It's okay to lie. Simple gesture, keeping hands. But meaningful, they didn't do it before. They fell all broken there again. It's not as big in the exploration. Doesn't matter. He's for drama.
Music again.
Music changed completely. Before it was in-game cinematic, now it's full cinematic.
Esti tornere marina, esti linaki soledad.
The joy is completely disappeared in the eyes of everyone. I noticed. Gustav included. Now, before there was this kind of always jump, joy, sadness, joy, sadness, joy. Now it's only sadness. Once again, completely not realistic, you know, it's not dark. Why there is only the two of them? Doesn't matter. It's for the drama. It's representing how they're feeling alone with the world against what is this thing? Something human style woke up and is doing something. He has the 33. She doesn't have the 33. She's crying.
I'm here.
The objective.
Yeah, this is powerful even after knowing everything. Yeah.
Exactly. In the face, but really in the face. And in 40 minutes, 45 maybe if you've done a couple of more things, you have everything of this game. That thing, that is the paintress, but even if you don't know it, that thing killed you and your love, because you were both Sophie and Gustav, so it did both things. It killed you, it killed your love, it killed the world. Many people died. You don't need any other motivation. You have a personal motivation. You killed me / my love. You killed the world. I have everything. I have a clear objective. Now I understand. 33 is here. 33 is the number, connection. You have killed my girlfriend. You have killed technically me, because once again, I was Sophie. You have killed the people that I've talked to. And they were the obligatory ones. The one that that's why we jumped to the other ones. It's just that. It just really, that's the thing that you need to know. It's give you personal motivation, local motivation, long-term motivation, world. It's a world issue. So it's a god already in some way, because it can kill people by writing numbers. It's kind of already tick every single element of an enemy in an RPG, but without the evolution. It's just happening. You know, it's not like Sephiroth. In Sephiroth, you discover that he's a planet, multiverse, risk, and you discover your connection between Cloud and Sephiroth later because it's a plot twist and things. Here, there is none of that. There is already all the objective, all the information. It killed Sophie. You were Sophie. Now you are Gustav. It kills a lot of people. It needs to be stopped. Now, of course, there are plot twists and everything, but still, it's a very clear objective that works for 90% of the experience.
Yeah. So it is immediately really immediate. Also, like the way that Gustav's look at the paintress at the very end, right? That he is desperate, right? But at the same time, like it did that sight in his eye, like that is determined. Like he knows that this is something that has been failed over and over and over and over again, right? However, he will try anyway. He can make the change. This is what everyone told Sophie also.
Yes,
actually.
but also
And
told that he will fail.
Yeah.
Because all expedition fails.
Exactly. Regardless, he needs to go. And this is your objective. And this is extremely powerful.
It is extremely powerful. It's incredible to set up such a strong emotional hook in 40 minutes, 45, let's say. And I would say, and here you have all clear, but you know nothing. Exactly, you know nothing. You know nothing. There is still a lot of this world to discover. And yes, I would love to talk to the rest of you. There's so much to discuss about the rest of it.
Yeah, all the plot twist.
Yeah, but also other narrative techniques that they use that are absolutely incredible. And Daniel will say it's basically Infinity War, but it's been going on slow for so long time, and we also don't know who it is causing. Exactly. You want to stop it, and you know why behind everything. A strong shuriken in the face. but even a stronger hook. Exactly. It's exactly that. Because you know that they know it. You know that you as Diner, as Diego, as Roberto know that Gustav knows what's going on. But you as Diego, Diner, and Roberto don't know that. You want to discover. So discover the paintress and discover what is exactly an expedition, which will happen in the next 10 minutes because there is the expedition festival in which they will literally tell you that you have to go there and beat the shit out of the paintress, basically.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of the expedition. They also tell you why Expedition 33, which is counterintuitive compared to the other element. But you discover that. So you have all the beautiful world discovery as a player. Still, you have the emotion because it's in 40 minutes, they make you attached to Sophie. Of course, once again, it's not the same attachment you have between Yuna and Tidus, but it took hundreds of hours to have that level of attachment. Still, when you see Sophie die, it's like, what? What the fuck's going on? Why she is dying? Why Gustav is not dying? Why that people is dying?
Yeah. Also the choice, right? You see the child that loses his mother, the guy that has regrets over his son also being demolished immediately, like it vanishes.
Oh yes.
And it also feels very unjust, right? Like why all of this is happening.
It's
like
so
because you are clearly not understanding what is going on, of course, and you will not for a long time actually in this regard.
And actually, sorry, I'd like to continue, but I want to say that because that's a good point here. It's very, and I know it sounds weird, but it's very Lovecraftian, this element that Rob said. You don't know the motivation. Okay, why is happening? You know, in Infinity War, you can agree or disagree with Thanos' motivation, but okay, I guess, sure, at least I know it. In Loki, okay, I want to be a king. Okay, I mean, oh sure, I want to be rich. Why is happening? Why are you killing people with 34 years old?
Like it doesn't seem to be that bad people anyway. So you really don't know, right? You only know that you want to stop this kind of stuff from happening ever again to you probably, but also to everyone. It doesn't seem like lives can really go on. In fact, like the whole Lumiere seems messed up, like a room that you left over and you just cry in a corner because you are not like able to fix that, or something that is broken, like the world is broken, right? Anybody have to go on, but at the same time they can't go on because they have to live in this constant fear anyway. It is actually not even a fear because I think that this first hour or so shows even a kind of acceptance. So yeah, of course, the moment that they are going to disappear in the Gommage, they have fear. However, they have already accepted that this is their fate. And it's very, very sad. The whole city represents that. Like not only the characters, but the whole city.
Absolutely.
It's clear that life can go on like that, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and there is a lot of ethical discussion also. Kids, for example, between Marie and Sophie, there is discussion. You should have kids for the future. And Sophie's like, no, I don't want to have kids in a world in which they will die. And it's interesting because both are valid points, both are valid points. Until there is hope, there is a way. But at the same time, why should I want kids in a world that is going to die and is going to die faster and faster? Because of course you understand that if the number go lower, people will die younger. So started to piecing things together. And there's so much that it makes it interesting without telling. But at the same time, with giving you both a very personal motivation. Because again, let's take Final Fantasy VII. Now, Sephiroth is considered one of the best villain, and Final Fantasy VII is considered one of the best Final Fantasy. And it is, absolutely. It is. Also from a gameplay point of view, it's one of the best. But Sephiroth is actually Lovecraftian enemy. He's a real proper Lovecraftian enemy. He's an alien. Well, it's not technically an alien. Let's simplify things. He's an alien that wants to eat the planet and pass to the next planet and things. There is a very clear world problem. Okay, yes, let's not destroy the world. Good, we all agree with that. But it takes a lot of time before you have a very personal motivation with Sephiroth, which is when Aerith dies, of course, and when you discover the relationship between Zack, Sephiroth, and Cloud. Until the moment, it's just basically saving the world, which is a good motivation, don't take me wrong, but it's not personal. Here you have in 40 minutes everything. Oh, and Cherry Cola, thank you, even just to say hi. Today we've been super long, actually, but because there's so much to say. And we will use the hi of Cherry Cola. Please join us in the future for saying that we stopped. We see you guys were super interested, so we will definitely do again Expedition 33, maybe on the gameplay next time, and go back on the narrative another time, because this is so much to say, just to changing things. Oh, wait, there is one question. So we can end. Unrelated for you, Diego, and but Roberto can also give a couple of months. I was making a little compilation of the famous quote that you heard about game design in general. They can be both serious, 50% science, 50% art, play, don't tell, or humorous. It just works. Are there any that come to your mind? Anche in Italian, if you want. Okay, so do you have a quote from game design or in general game development that you consider funny or real that you want to share with Diner?
Oh. So one thing that I always say, like even when I do lessons to like other game designers, etc., is that games are always smoke and mirrors. Is always his perspective and like perception. Like the only thing that matters is what the player perceives. Also, this really fits very well with Expedition 33. Like it doesn't matter like how they build that world. Like in the discussion that we also were doing before, even in terms of asset, etc. Like this is very literal. The important thing is that you had that emotion, right? They wanted to aim for you to gain that emotion, and they did. It doesn't matter like how you build stuff. We are not making like we are not going to the moon. We're not going to Mars, definitely. Doesn't really matter. Like the player don't care how we build like stuff in game design, right? They care about the experience. So this is something that I always like to say, because it's not so, it's obvious and not at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it once you embrace that, it is very eye-opening, I think.
Oh, I agree. Science already added the 50% science, 50% art. I want to say one from a friend of mine, John Hanley, which is in the industry by many, many years, more than me, which says that making games is one of the best jobs in the world, but also one of the hardest jobs in the world. And it's necessary, otherwise everyone will make games. And I agree on the hardest part. And yes, Harry, I'm sorry, but you arrived just at the end. And actually, if it was normal time, it would have been finished by a lot. But as I say, it was such a good things, and there's so much to say. I really think that this game will be studied for many, many years. I'm sure it will have a GDC talk from the team, of course. That's the minimum, probably more than one. So thank you for giving us a lot of your time this time. Thank you for being super patient and super interactive. And I'll see you, I don't know, next week or whatever, depends on when we have time. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.